topic that has captured my attention. It's the idea of syncing. Synchronize. Not syncing as in going down, but syncing as in synchronization. Playing around on my computer the other day, I noticed that while I had Google Drive, I didn't have the app. And, well, I guess I've been using it, but I wonder whether it would work really lickety-split if I had that app. So, downloaded the app, and there was something in there, a little checkbox about syncing, and I thought, oh, okay, I guess we can do some syncing here. Tick, tick, a couple things. And thought, whoa, I'm going to see what happens here. Maybe things are going to run really smoothly here on my computer. And what I noticed instead over the next few days, notice is flashing up. 99% of your storage is used up. And I would go into manage storage and delete, and it'd be back to, 25% storage use. And then the next day, there'd be that notification again. So I did that a few times, and I thought, no, there's something. In the back of my mind, I went, there's something I did that's making this happen. It never used to happen. And now all kinds of things are in my Google Drive that didn't used to be. And somehow when I was looking for some other things, I realized that it was that app that I downloaded. So it was meaning that all my files were automatically going to another place. Everything was being synchronized. Whereas before, I guess it had only worked when I Googled it. The rest of the time it was all done offline. It started to make sense to me, this idea of synchronizing. Anyways, I uninstalled the app and back to where I was. And I learned a lot in the process. All good. And then this morning, as I was going for my walk along the beach, the waves lapping and a light drizzle falling, and just thinking of the tide coming in and out, and the rain glistening on the stones, and the beach logs, and the seabirds drifting by and flying overhead. And I heard a raven go overhead. And it made me think about this world, this natural world, and how good we feel in this natural world. We automatically just kind of feel that everything's going to be all right, that everything is all right. It feels like a different world somehow. And is it because we ascribe to the natural world all these processes that are beyond our control? We're not making the plants grow. We're not making the tide roll in and out. We're not telling the ducks where to feed. Somehow it's all happening. It's all interlocking and moving us forward and through the seasons and everyday difference, and so many tiny little pieces to the large picture. And it's wonderful to feel embraced by that, to feel nurtured and even coddled sometimes with the waves singing us that lullaby. Then we go to our daily life. So many different concerns and things that we've built into our experience with other people, with institutions, and we see that as separate. So we have that life, that is all our responsibilities, our obligations, our concerns, things we just worry and worry. How are we going to make this happen? How is this going to happen? What can we do here? How can we fix this? Oh, I want to do this. How am I going to get there? Like just goals, obligations, steps, processes, and there isn't really that sense of peace. And when I heard the raven calling, somehow the message that I heard was this idea of synchronizing, that I can sync my daily life to this natural world as I perceive it, the sense of things being taken care of, that really so much is beyond my control. But all these little pieces are fitting together and moving me forward, and I can have that same ineffable, comforting awareness of being taken care of. Sinking.
Thank you, Laurel, for starting an idea and asking me to build on it. I really sensed your comfort level, and because there had been a moment in your week where you got this idea of synchronicity and that the universe is supporting you, and that we don't need to always be concerned about controlling everything that's not controllable. So there was just that beginning where you showed how the computer gave you all sorts of challenges and you had to redo and fix and actually respond to things that you weren't really sure what's going on at first. Isn't that the way? And so you contrasted it to just walking along the beach and hearing the birds and just feeling really at peace. And then I saw your mind sort of asking that question, can those two concepts be kind of synchronized and compatible, and can you benefit in some way in that sort of IT world of not getting too upset or frustrated, perhaps? So in my mind, I guess I do differentiate those two activities. What I'm starting to understand about myself and sharing with others is how practical I am. I just want to get things done that I say that I'm going to do. And it sounds a bit regimented, but actually it's because I feel I have a new lease on life. I had so many times that I just didn't even try because time was so taken up, and and I was dealing with a lot of other things. So I feel like my health is good and my physicality is good, and I'm just catching up basically and really enjoying myself. But that kind of getting things done does put me in that sort of more stress state. But I feel I like it because I'm feeling in control. In control, recognizing there's a lot that I don't really plan to control, that I'm not interested in, I get swept up in, but that's okay too. And then being out in nature and walking is my attempt to balance myself and to love being free. However, from what you said, I too feel lately some wonderful sort of things have clicked, and the efforts that I've put out have paid off, that they were actually investments that came around. What comes around goes around kind of feeling. And so it's really great to, for me, have a bit of an agenda to get maybe only 2 or 3 done on my to-do list, but also to appreciate that I need to take frequent breaks to get back into that lovely space. I need more rest time, more cultivating that, because I think my last point would be that in that relaxed state, you're more open to the clicking. And I am not sleeping as well, but I don't mind it because there's often 2 hours at night that I'm just not tired. So I think maybe with some kind of age or some kind of moon or whatever, there's some really lovely times that maybe the universe is saying, no, pay attention. Don't go to sleep. You're going to get something interesting here, and I'll just lie awake and wait for it to happen. And you know what? It often does. So that's how I sort of got a sense of what you were saying and building on my experience. Thank you.
Now that was lovely, Johanna. The idea of things clicking into place and relaxing and being attentive, and that's that superb, just exactly what I was feeling and what I was wanting to express. And it was interesting to me that you that I was able to convey something of meaning to you when perhaps the idea, the central metaphor, maybe I didn't explain it clearly, or maybe I don't totally understand it. One thing I've realized with the advent of computers is we have a whole different set of ways of understanding things, metaphors that we can use that weren't available. So this idea of syncing or synchronizing, I was thinking of the synchronizing all my documents and downloads and everything, synchronizing it to this other place with this other application where it was all stored. But that idea of synchronizing, what led me to how a more articulate, perhaps, understanding, using that word of synchronizing in exactly the way those files and everything move over and are, now stored in this other place. And I guess I was thinking about synchronizing my understanding of natural processes and how things work, and actually that being synchronized with how I lead my daily life. So that there was that central metaphor, and you definitely got the feeling of it. But did I? I'm not sure. Whether that metaphor came through clearly?
No, I got lost on the beach, and that's how I felt. Like ha ha. Yeah. But natural processes, I too learn when I think about getting upset with something. First question: why is it so difficult? Like, is it somebody trying to make more money off me? And a new app. What I like my old one. Why did you change it on me? Like those kind of frustrations, and that doesn't feel very natural to me. I feel like I'm kind of being captive, and I reject that feel. I just don't like it. And so I'm very happily, merrily going along when I get something and and then suddenly there's a change. And it doesn't correspond to the natural process of my process, but maybe it is a natural process of computer technology that I just need to sort of better join if I want to be, upgraded. Yeah. Does that answer?
Yeah, it's interesting. So it's interesting because I have this sense that this will take us into another arena if I go one step further. We'll see where it takes us. But the idea of infinite intelligence, does that mean anything to you?
Yes, because like I mentioned, life is so good right now, and I'm feeling supported by the universe, and I actually feel very um, very interested and just alive, and that's infinite intelligence to me because that means I'm going to just be very happy.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
even though nature throws winds and storms, and we see that all around us, what I think of the infinite intelligence is getting back to that place of being happy.
Hmm.
And so if the computer and all that doesn't make me happy, I'm thinking, are a lot of other people not happy too? Am I the only one? Like, is the world going in the wrong direction here?
Interesting, very interesting.
So I'll leave that at
well,
that.
yeah. Okay, so well, I'll close. I'll say one more thing because all these different pieces all fit together. And when you talk about being happy, definitely that's the core. That's where you can tell whether you're on the right track or not. And it makes complete sense that you would question, then, are computers taking us the right direction? Because there's all these, frustrations that take us out of that state of happiness. And I'm going to interject that if we are a part of infinite intelligence and we've created computers, that infinite intelligence would understand what's going on with all these computers. And as soon as we sense ourselves being unhappy, take a step back, relax, get that clarity, and then we'll be guided to what we need to do. Or maybe it's phoning someone or calling someone, but often the answer is there at our fingertips. And so I would include the the workings of the computer under the aegis of infinite intelligence as well.
May I just?
Oh,
it'll be quick now.
okay.
Yes, I think the infinite intelligence is what you said, that we are capable of learning, that we're capable of reaching out and getting help. We have that capacity.
Okay, great, good.